Good afternoon. I'm making this video because very irritatingly and annoyingly, I wrote a story, or a brief story, this morning, my afternoon. I woke up at 12:05 p.m. and so I wrote down my dream from this morning or during the night because it was a potent and beautiful dream. And I wrote it quite, poetically and beautifully. And when I went to save it, it didn't save, it just disappeared. And Facebook had put some link on it called The Fall because I mentioned falling because the dream was about ascending a staircase that was quite frightening. So I don't know whether the link being put on it by Facebook caused it to be deleted or whether they're deleting all my stuff now. So I'm having another go. This time I'm putting it in a video so you can see me telling you my dream. Why am I sharing this dream? Why do I share anything? I don't like being silenced. I don't like the way things are going with the Facebook algorithms. I feel personally targeted, but as my friend explained to me, because I'm so active and on Facebook and I'm so vocal about human rights violations, you get whiny little, spotty little 12-year-old boys who report you to Facebook that you're bullying them when in actual fact they are bullying you. And Facebook doesn't bother to read things properly, or their algorithms don't read things properly, or they're deliberately obtuse, one or the other. I'm not quite sure. So they put you in Facebook jail for speaking to truth. And that's okay, who cares? I'm at the point where I'm thinking seriously about deleting my entire page, but there's 99 souls on my Facebook that enjoy my contributions and enjoy seeing my little artistic endeavours in small and unique ways, and see me struggling to get back up and thrive in the middle of an actual zombie apocalypse, which is pretty miraculous and amazing when you think about it. Like, especially old me who spent years down the rabbit hole, mired in psych meds and struggling just to get through daily life. And at this time, when it's the most threatening and dangerous it's ever been for our planet, I'm actually trying to fly like a fledgling bird. It's insane. It's insane when you think about it, but on the other hand, it's also beautiful. It's the will to live and the will to exist in an unfriendly environment, which for me has always been unfriendly. So anyway, I'm prefacing my dream that way. It's a beautiful dream and it made perfect sense to me. So I woke up at 12:05 and I quickly wrote it down, stream of consciousness, on my Facebook and tried to save it, and it got lost. But here's what the dream was, right? It was beautiful and frightening, a bit frightening, but beautiful. The meaning behind it was beautiful. And if Facebook algorithms can't work that out and deleted it, then more fool they. How stupid are they, really? Or whoever's running this show, this matrix. Anyway, there are higher things in order, and the gods and the angels have my back, just saying. How do I know this? I'm still alive against all odds. So even my psychiatrist concurs with that. So here we go. So I wake up from the dream and I was like kind of in awe and excited because the meaning was poignant. So in the dream, I'm walking through a university campus, and it looked a bit like UQ here, but it could have been Victoria University of Wellington, which was a place of much trauma for me, but never mind, we won't go there. But the architecture of the buildings sort of looked late Victorian and were immaculately kept. as universities usually are, because money and power. But I'm wandering around, and I don't think I'm a student in this university. I think I'm just like visiting or being a tourist. I'm not sure about what I was actually doing there in the dream, but that part doesn't really matter so much. And I'm wandering around, and there's lots of people, sort of like a festive atmosphere. It felt like it might have been orientation, when people come, new students come, and there's all these festivities, and everyone's excited to be there. Do you remember when it felt like to be excited to be somewhere? And they were all sort of surrounding me, and lots of people, and I'm just wandering around on my own, exploring. So my nose is itchy. I'm not lying. My nose is itchy. So anyway, so I come to this building in the dream. I come to this building, and there's a very, very inordinately steep brick staircase, but it looked sort of a bit dilapidated, and the steps were very narrow, and I had boots on, and I'm just looking at it, and I must have thought to myself, I wonder what's up there, because what an awful staircase, what an awful entry to that building. And a voice behind me, someone in the crowd, said, why don't you go on up and have a look what's up there? And I yelled back, oh no, I could never climb that staircase. It looks dodgy, it looks rickety. And they said, just go on up. I think you'll be surprised. So, not wanting to look like a coward or a fool, I start climbing the staircase. And I get halfway up and I look down. It's quite a high staircase, and the steps are quite narrow. And I look back down, and I have waves of vertigo swirling through my head, and I felt really woozy, and I thought, oh my gosh, I'm probably going to fall. And I start swaying, and and there's nothing really to grip onto. And the voice from below says, go on, keep going, just keep going, you're going to love it up there. And I'm like, what is all this? I don't like taking orders from strangers anyway. But I think to myself, well, I'm halfway up and I'm halfway down, and I'm in the middle of like nowhere, and if I fall, I'm going to hurt myself now, and I might as well just keep going, So I continue clambering up this brick staircase. And I get to about 3 steps short of the actual entrance, and there's this golden light streaming out from the doorway, which is a good omen in dreams, when you dream of golden lights and sunny vistas. So I get up to the 3rd step, and I think to myself, it looks so narrow and so not very, just so unsure. I think, I can't possibly get in there. I'd have to like drag myself up by my hands and like climb up. So I reach up with my hands and I start trying to pull myself up. And this hand comes out of the doorway and says, come on, you can do it. You're welcome here. And I'm like, what's going on? And because of my trauma issues in real life too, if I'm feeling unsafe and unsteady on my feet, like if I'm halfway up a ladder and someone grabs me, I actually freak the hell out, okay? I need to do things under my own steam when I'm really frightened, otherwise I just go into shutdown mode. So I start like freaking out, but the voice is like really reassuring, and they're like, come on, you can do it, you're nearly there. And sort of like, excuse me, just when I make a video, my nose decides to play havoc. So, the voice from inside the room says, we're all here, we're all waiting for you. You can make it. Come on. And I'm like, is this a portal? Is this the next dimension? Like, I'm getting more frightened because I don't know where I'm going, what I'm going to see, what's waiting for me there. Is it good? Is it bad? It's the fear of the unknown, But anyway, I keep scrambling up the last few steps and the hand kind of half wefts me in. And I stand there and there's dozens of people, and they're all, and I'm smile because I'm so relieved to have made it, because by this stage I'm actually wanting to vomit because, you know, the vertigo and the fear and the anxiety and thinking I'm going to fall down those stairs had overwhelmed me. So I'm standing there and I'm kind of swaying, but I'm like, yay, I've made it. And all these people look back and smile at me, but with real, genuine warmth and authenticity. And they're like, welcome, we're so happy you made it. And they said, come and join us. And so they all go and they all sit down on the floor in a big circle, cross-legged on the floor. And I'm thinking, oh, maybe it'll be good to sit down too on the floor and ground myself. So anyway, I scooch into the circle with people either side of me. And we all hold hands. And I'm thinking, oh, that's lovely, because I'm feeling incredibly grounded because we're all holding hands. And they said to me, oh, we're Muslim and we're just about to start a service. Well, I've never been to an Islamic temple, mosque in my life. And I don't think they sit cross-legged on the floor holding hands. It's more like something like from ecstatic dance or some alternative movement. But anyway, I don't care about that, you know. But I said to them, well, in all transparency, I need to inform you that I'm actually a Jew. And they just look at me and nod and they smile and they said, that's all right, you're welcome, sister, you're welcome to join us. You've made it this far. Come and sit with us, you know, come and join us. So I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, oh, this is actually quite lovely, and everyone's so happy and full of light, you know. And so they start singing and swaying, you know, we were singing and swaying, and then I don't know who decided to do it, but almost as one, everyone leant to the left and sort of leant their head on the person's shoulder and sort of cuddled in, snuggled in. So we sort of all was like that in a big conga line in a circle, all scooching into each other. And someone on their right was leaning on my shoulder, and it was like a moment of intimacy in the dream that I was not accustomed to. I'm not accustomed to that in real life either, especially with our COVID epoch. And I was like, this is nice, but this is a bit weird, like we're actually too close to each other when we were resting our head on each other's shoulders. But I just feel in the dream suffused with this pure acceptance and love and comfort and safety and intimacy. So we sit like that and they're all singing and there's just such happiness in the room and such peace. And then I woke up. So I don't know how I got back, because I said to them in the dream, how am I going to get back down those stairs? And they said to me, oh no, getting down is easy. Like it's the climbing up them is hard. And I'm thinking, how can that be? Like that was so difficult to ascend. So the dream is a metaphor for ascension, and you know, the peace exhibited by the Muslim people in their ceremony is still a beautiful message. I'm not Muslim, but it makes no difference to me how people worship their God, you know. And and I thought it was beautiful, and I thought it was beautiful that they included me, and in fact almost invited me, because they kept saying, come on, you can make it up here, you can make it up here, you'll be fine, you know. And so it's a beautiful message about facing your fears and ascending and reaching that level of comfort and ease and peace and true love and companionship and intimacy and trust. all the things that kind of I still lack in many aspects of my life, apart from my beautiful friends. So it was a powerful message. Anyway, I woke up and I thought to myself about that. I thought, the spirits are telling me that, I'm needing peace and safety and affection and comfort and true love, of course. I always needed that. Who doesn't need that? And that I need to still push through my blocks and my fears, the fear of falling. Now I have a fear, quite a rational fear, of falling in love, because the last few times I fell in love it was disastrous. Actually, let's be real here, every time I fell in love, even my marriage, it was disastrous. So, and that was many, many years ago now. So I have reasonable fears of putting myself out there, dating, haven't dated in many, many, many years, decades even, and of allowing a new person into my life, because I have a reasonable fear that they might be damaging like the last ones were. The last few were particularly damaging. They were all damaging, but in various different degrees. So, but the dream is speaking to a bigger picture, and that is for me to put my trust in humanity and unconditional love and in the gods, because the voice below didn't tell me you're going to sit and have a church a ceremony, or it wasn't a church service, but you're going to have like a spiritual ceremony with a whole group of Muslim people. It didn't mention religion at all. It just said you go up there and you're going to be surprised and you're going to love it, kind of thing. So the spirits were speaking to openness and vulnerability and adventure, and being prepared to accept and receive the unexpected, and non-judgment, and yes, openness. So I think that's quite lovely. My story that I wrote was actually more beautifully written than the way I've delivered it in this video, so I'm deeply, deeply annoyed that it went missing, but it's a lesson to me to make sure I voice record my stories or write them down in physical form before I type them into Facebook, because Facebook can be unreliable or potentially blatantly malevolent. I'm sure it's just a glitch though. It's happened in the past that my stories or my writings were deleted, but I've noticed in recent months, or the last couple of months, that my memories, they're only sending me my older memories from prior to 2013. So there's lots of writing trapped in the ether with Facebook that they're actually holding back, retaining, and not regurgitating to me. And I can't help feeling it's because they've become aware that I copy and paste my writing onto Vocal Media, because I want it preserved on a platform where I don't have to go into archives and dig through, years and years of stuff, when I can just have it right there in front of me and potentially get paid, although I don't get paid for my writings because, they're just mad ramblings and no one's interested in it but me and maybe one or two people. So it's not really a threat to anyone's algorithms, and also it's my writing, I own it. I gift it to Facebook deliberately so that it's recorded somewhere and my friends can see where I'm at in life, and we can all share my spiritual growth just as much as I share their spiritual growth too. So there's nothing malevolent about that. I'm just annoyed that things are going missing. I guess the lesson there is also that I should have kept a hard copy somewhere and kept it safe, but you know, some of it is trivial, and you know, I'm not that bothered really, you know. I look at it this way: the important things that are of deep value to society or to people will be retained in the ether and will be returned to me when necessary for vital information, as happened to me during the will dispute in 2000 and, well, from 2010 to 2012. There was an important piece of information I required that I cried and bet my breast about, because it was lost in a hard drive of like 4 or 5 or 6 computers before and could never be retrieved physically by me. And I remember calling Jared on the phone and saying, I can't get this piece of information, it's long gone, so I don't have proof, I don't have evidence of that conversation that I had written down, and it's gone forever, it's up there in the ether, you know, with the gods. And miraculously, and it was miraculous, people, I still don't know how it happened. That particular piece arrived in my inbox, in my email inbox, the very next day with its original date on it, and it was dating back to something like 1992 or something. I can't remember the exact date now, but it was bizarre. And I sat there and freaked out, because there is no way in a human frame of reference that could have been returned to me, and yet it did. And I don't know who sent it, I don't know where it came from. It was up in the ether because I had sent it via email to someone, and suddenly it appeared back in my inbox. So then that's how I knew that something powerful and miraculous and perhaps holy was returning my important, necessary information to me at the appropriate time that I needed it. So ask and you shall receive. So treasure and honour your truths and retain the information, the data somewhere, via email or on the internet, because it is preserved. It is preserved somehow. Unless with my last story I just wrote that it didn't save properly and it's lost forever. Oh well. But don't give up on yourselves and your gods. Hold to your truth. Your truth has value. Even your little insignificant human truth. The angels and the gods and the spirits of high vibration, of love, light and truth, regardless of your spiritual or religious walk, even if you're an atheist, your truth holds its value and is deeply cherished by what do you call it? The manufacturers, the designers, the artists of this multiverse. And when you think of all the trillions of life forms that must exist on other exoplanets and other similar life-sustaining systems in the multiverses, how many souls are putting their truth out in whatever communication form they have, whether it's just as light, refractions of light, or music, or art. All that truth joins and becomes one truth, because we are all connected. So that's the message I get from my dream. I'm looking forward to a bit of a cuddle and intimacy in real life one day with someone worthy. Oh, dear goddess. It's ridiculous when you think about it. But have a wonderful day, people. Much love from Sacred Space and your ever psychedelic dreamer, Tanya Aarons. Bye for now.